Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have my friend, my office mate, oh my gosh, attorney, director, a filmmaker.
What did I direct?
Have you not directed yet?
No.
Model, actor, now social influencer.
Yes.
Maybe a winner of a ring. Have you heard about the rings?
No, what are the rings?
There's a new thing that I saw. They're going to be like an award show for content creators.
Oh, wonderful.
So you might win a ring.
I'm very excited.
Because you're finally spending the time and doing really funny things, roasting food at county fairs.
Yes.
Very funny. Well, that's probably my favorite video you've done lately. Guy Branum, multi award-winning writer, which you brought them all the last time.
Yes.
And just how are you?
I'm great. It's always good to see you. But more than that, a lot of stuff has been going on that I've wanted to talk to you about, but not the least of which is I, over the course of the last 3 months, consumed all of Vanderpump. And my eyes are open now.
So you started from the very beginning.
I started from the very beginning because I wanted to understand, and also I had seen that backdoor pilot years ago when they did the episode that was Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then it turned into half an episode.
They followed Sheena to the other room.
Right. And Jax was a very compelling persona, the kind of person that we all see in Los Angeles. And I did want to chart this full journey so that I could really understand Scandival. And now that I have taken it all down,
So you finished all of it. You are
finished
caught up to
all
the
of it.
end.
I'm caught up to the end, and I really feel like they squeezed all the juice out of that. There are a couple of people on there who I still like. I think Sheena is a great reality show performer. I think I do deeply love Lala, and I think that they have more reality show in them. But most of those people, it's we got everything we're going to get out of both Toms. We got everything we're going to get out of Ariana. And I really felt like it was a complete story.
I love, first of all, so many times people are in the comments when someone writes on Juicy Scoop Obsessed or whatever, my Patreon, going, all right, guys, I've never watched this, or what season of Housewives should I start on, or what? And the comments are always I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous that you're starting from the beginning. And so it's kind of fun to hear someone like you who, can appreciate what that show was. And I agree. It is like no other, because it involved what the rest of the world wondered what it was like to be a young, aspiring actor model doing the waiter thing in LA, and they were all real, and they all had relationships, and they all worked at this place. And I don't think there's been a more organic origin story to a reality show than what Vanderpump was, besides the Osbournes and the Kardashians, who were truly a family. Even more so than any Real Housewives, because even in the beginning of Real Housewives, there was a bit of casting and people meeting for the first time when the cameras came on. This was and that's what made it so fascinating as a reality show Bravo fan. And it is, to me, kind of like an end of an era, because I'm doing BravoCon, and 2 years ago, it was still in the height of the whole Scandival, and they were all there. And now it's Tom Sandoval is, not really going to be part of the Valley that we know.
Yeah.
And Lala is going to be part of the Valley, but I don't know if you're aware, but Sheena is not.
Oh, really?
And
I have to imagine Sheena wants to.
Well, that's what's so juicy about it.
Okay.
So Sheena, there's a lot to Sheena that I relate to.
Uh-huh.
They call her the pick-me girl.
Uh-huh.
And people would say that about me when I was on the panel.
Yes.
And just just a sort of like happy, and people would say, oh, you make it about yourself and all this other stuff. But very entertaining. And truly the reason Vanderpump had a reason to go was because of her connection with having this affair prior, before we see it. But in the past, she had an affair with Eddie Cibrian, who was Brandi Glanville's husband. And so, it launched there. So it's crazy that now third season of Valley, which we all thought. So to just fill you in, she wrote a book that is a New York Times bestseller. And one of the main bomb drop that nobody knew till the book was like out and on the shelves is that her husband Brock.
Yeah.
Before they were married, they got pregnant with their daughter, Summer Moon. And while she was pregnant, Brock had an affair.
Okay.
And Brock let her know, ironically, during the actual unfolding of Scandival, that 2 years prior he had an affair because he was seeing Reddits and things and he thought it would come out.
Yeah.
She took it in, kept it to herself.
Yeah.
Like didn't tell anybody.
Oh, so they're saying it was unfair of her to not be revealing this information while Scandival was coming out?
Some people think that. Some people appreciate that in the book she explains what was going on during her life. But me personally, I was like, first of all, brilliant to save the nugget for your book because you're given everything on reality shows. You have your own podcast. You've done a million interviews. Like you got to save some stuff for your book. However, I was like, okay, what was the logic behind sharing it? One is you just want to be authentic. Okay, that's noble. But let's make some lemonade out of it.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, you're going to come on the Valley. We're going to have discussions with you and Brock that, that you've gotten past it or that.
Was she being gatekeepy about it? Was she saying, I'm not going to talk about this?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. So anyway, so that's what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
Then there was rumblings where she and Lala weren't getting along, which I kind of went through on a last episode. And so I was like, well, then that'll be really great to kind of see them manage, because so much of these friendships in Housewives and stuff, a lot of it has to do with the actual filming of the show or a brand deal that you were both up for, or we did a commercial and she was acting like a diva. And like, it's not just what we're seeing about, oh, you didn't bring the carrot cake. It's like, and now they kind of break the fourth wall and we can see that they all have these big careers. I love when
you have a flashback to a reunion episode during an actual episode.
And then they call it New York. They're like, what happened in New York?
What happened in New York?
Because they don't say the reunion. Okay, fine. So then I see she's not doing the Valley. And rumors are, it's because she exposed too much about how they make reality TV in her book, and Bravo's pissed. So she has Alex Baskin come on her show, and he's the producer of all that stuff. And he's like, no, that's not the case. We did give you a compelling offer. I thought it was a compelling offer. And she's like, and I chose no, because she saw a comment that really stuck with her where someone said, I feel like Sheena is the girl who graduated from high school and keeps coming back to the high school parties. But I wish.
But that's what.
I wish she would have.
The Valley is community college. The Valley is community college for reality TV. Its point is that it's it's that you've moved along, but like you haven't moved away.
I totally get her point and her desire to do other things, and she's maybe it was in viewing the offer, which maybe the money wasn't that great.
Yeah,
maybe it was. Okay, I do want to make this marriage work, and I don't think rehashing it, which I'm going to have to do, is going to be good for my family. I don't know, but she turned it down. And and I feel the same way. Like I was like, well, but what's smart about Sheena is that she didn't, go off with guns a-blazing and flipping them off and threatening to sue or something. She's just like, hey, never say never. Thanks for coming on my show. And I think Alex Baskin is also smart enough to know that, maybe next season you'll want to come on and it'll even be juicier, whatever your life is. That's the thing. I mean, I do really think it's hard when your business is just being you and what goes on in your life.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you need to share this. And If you don't share it, they get mad. And if you share it, then you could really fuck up like the trajectory of your marriage or your kids.
Well, it's something that I think you have encountered as somebody who like loves this stuff and pays a lot of attention to it, but also you have an amazing like artistic career, and like some of these people, the only skill that they have is stirring the shit.
Yeah.
You know? And like it can be rough when the only thing when your most marketable skill is starting a fight. I have a question for you. I have so much respect for the women who managed, I think it was only, well, no, I mean, like for everyone who managed to fuck their way onto that show instead of like a permanent basis, including Brock. But
you mean, find a relationship of someone who's cast, and
like
then you become a cast member.
Brittany and Raquel. And like the fundamental question for me has to be, was it chicken shit of Raquel to get herself into that situation and then be like, I can't deal with it? Or like part of me is sympathetic to, it must have felt like the world hated you when Scandoval came out.
I mean, it did. She had like major mental health issues. Like she went to like a place.
Yeah.
And now she got a great boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
She was doing a podcast, which she stopped, where she'd recap the show.
She would be a terrible podcaster.
Well, I think mentally, like, yeah, just like anything in this world of social media, it's like, yeah, stop following someone, mute them.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to see all the fun they're having without you. You don't need to see them filming without you. They always make such a big deal like, oh my God, Garcelle from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills stopped following all the cast members. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be seeing them all doing stuff, because you know that when you look at it, it gives you like an emotional reaction because it's painful, and like, maybe you want people to know that you've moved on and you're not following them.
I feel like the Garcelles and the Heather Dubrows and like maybe not Lisa, but like definitely Eileen Davidson, like took it as a job, did it as a job to help their career.
Yeah.
And then when they were done, went off and treated it like it was a job.
A stint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very interesting too. Yeah. And I think they probably, you know, it's fun to have a star, but they probably are like, yeah, no, we want a lifer. Like we want a lifer. We want someone who's going to get tenure, who's going to, you know, have no way getting out. They're going to have to be trapped because they're going to get addicted to the fame. Terry Dubrow was recently being interviewed to Heather Dubrow's husband, who's a plastic surgeon from OC. And he said, all the women hate, this is what he said. I thought it was pretty, he goes, all the women hate doing the show, but they are addicted to now being famous. Right. And he said, I like being famous too. Being a reality star is different than being Tom Cruise. I can go to restaurants.
Yeah.
I'm just famous enough where it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's just not like I have to, you know, I can't have a day on my own. Like it's never like that because a lot of people don't watch the shows and don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But the fact that now it's become this thing where you have to fight. And I mean, I'm just like, the anxiety that I get sometimes when I'm like, I have an episode that comes out that maybe I said one thing that people were like, how dare you say that? Like, I even get like, ooh. And then I'm like, wow, if this was with people that I really were friends with, and then all the pile on of all the people now and what it's become, podcasting, Instagram, people talking about it. It's a lot.
Well, there's been criticism, like some people have criticized in Taylor Swift's new album, sort of some of the things that she says about the experience of being famous. And like, I'm thinking specifically of a lyric that is about like an eldest daughter. I think like how easy it is to criticize people and how everybody just put on wolf's clothing and acts like looks fire. And basically it's much easier to be aggressive and act like nothing impacts you than it is to be like honest and emotionally vulnerable in this time. And I do think it is something more universal than just something experienced by the biggest pop star in the world. But I also think there's something like interesting. I think there are some people in public discourse who have become very comfortable with being wrong and just like saying things and doing things that are wrong sometimes and accepting that that is the cost of doing business when there are cameras on you all the time.
Yeah.
And I think the fear of that and trying just, because it is hard when people criticize you.
Yeah.
But also it's going to happen. And you just kind of have to like walk through
But
it.
and now it's like we're used to the housewives like fighting and saying mean things and bringing up, horrible things about their business stuff. And we're like used to it. And when it doesn't happen, we're like, oh, that was kind of boring. Like,
Yes.
because now that's what we're used to.
No, absolutely. Like, I mean, I am a bad housewife viewer because I love Carol Radswell, who who was always a little bit above the fray and sometimes not doing the job that she needed to be doing of like keeping the shit stirred.
Yeah.
But I just need to say, my one big takeaway from 12 seasons of Vanderpump Rules is that sandwich shop is really good.
You ate at it?
Yes,
Good. Katie, and I'm glad it's still happening. I have yet to get over there, but I don't live nearby. That's why.
The thing is that like I have gone just sort of like to celebrate the experience to many Vanderpump restaurants. And, I got a fine steak and a beverage, but I was mostly there for vibes.
You got a steak sandwich.
And energy. No, I'm saying at
at the Vanderpump. So what did you get at the sandwich shop?
One time I got the Nancy, but converted to a California club. So it's like sourdough bread, turkey, avocado, bacon, which is like
you can't go wrong.
The sandwich I love most. And it's a very good execution of it. And then one time I got the Cameron, which is like Italian cold cuts on focaccia. And like, I was expecting it to be a mediocre restaurant that was surviving off of the fact that it was two people from Vanderpump and that they have a good viable business, especially after how on earth did Tom and Tom fuck up Schwartz and Sandy's? Like, I don't understand with all of that free advertising.
I think because they spent... I think it was a few things. The location wasn't a place where kids would like bar hop, which is why, in West Hollywood, where it was like you could, if you were traveling and you wanted to have a little fun thing, you could go to the Pump, you could go to Vanderpump, you could go to Tom Tom's. Yeah. You could go, then there's other bars right there to go to.
It kills me. So Roosterfish, a bar from Venice, took over the Pump location.
Okay.
And every time I see Lisa's olive trees and I'm like, she brought in those olive trees. It tears me apart.
Okay, so I think that was part of it. I think they made it like a little too high end.
Yeah.
And they spent too much on the decor.
Yeah.
And so, I think you need to have a simpler plan.
Yeah.
And that's why the sandwich shop does great.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why it's still there and great. Have you been thinking about changing your bedding? I mean, what a better way to get into fall than to fall into the softest bed for those crisp fall nights, watch some good movies, listen to some Juicy Scoop. That is why I absolutely love Boll and Branch. And right now they have bed bundles. They create a sanctuary of comfort with layers made to the highest quality from the finest 100% organic threads for unmatched durability and craftsmanship. I absolutely love it. I just redid my bed and I actually have fun making it up because it just feels so soft and it's getting me so excited for the fall. And I love my new bedding. Boll and Branch makes upgrading your bed easier than ever with curated bundles for a sanctuary of comfort. For a limited time, get 20% off bed bundles plus free shipping and returns at bollandbranch.com/juicyscoop. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/juicyscoop to save up to 20% and unlock free shipping. Exclusions apply. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. Well, I did too. And then I found out that Nutrafol isn't like the rest of them. Nutrafol is a physician-formulated, clinically tested, and dermatologist recommended. And I have been using it for probably a couple years now. And it's keeping my hair thick and growing and glossy and back to what it was pre-menopause or whatever happened to it a few years ago. But I mean, everyone compliments me on my hair and it's Nutrafol, people. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. Nutrafol is the first and only hair growth supplement to be NSF certified for sport testing against 290 athletic banned substances, toxicology reviews, ingredient testing, label verification, and annual manufacturing facility audits to ensure FDA requirements are met. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our Juicy Scoop listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Juicy Scoop. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code Juicy Scoop. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Juicy Scoop. Now, speaking of which, Katie and Lala haven't talked for like a year.
Yes.
And I just saw that she said on her show, Lala, I wanted to reach out maybe and make up with Katie. What would be your advice in this situation to the girls?
I don't know that I've ever seen someone successfully make up with Katie. Like, she seems to be, I mean, like, did Stassi manage to do it once or twice? But like, Katie can be very much in her own emotions, and she can, get dark. And that's really rough for me, where I think Lala is, like, for all of the ridiculousness of Lala, I think there is like a balance and a center and a sense of self. And I really respect that she's taking on the task of getting back in a good place with Katie. I just think it's hard work, and I don't know if it would ultimately be worth it. Like,
right.
I think Katie is also a very grounded person. I think that I would love to know her star sign. She's very, she holds a grudge, you know?
Yeah. Yes. So, all right. So do you have any more questions? Are you going to watch The Valley?
I mean, I am going to watch The Valley just because, like...
So now are you going to start watching The Valley? Because
yes.
you have 2 full seasons to watch.
Well, I mean, realizing that, like, I'm going to start out from a place of Brittany still likes Jax at the beginning of that.
Yes.
Hilarious. I did find it amusing that she left that military show after a single day. I expected more from Brittany.
So I'd mentioned thinking that you would get how much money you get. It has been confirmed through multiple sources to me that you get that chunk of money whether you stay one day or all of them.
Oh, wow.
Don't you think as an EP that's a stupid plan?
That's a very stupid plan.
Like, I mean, fine, I'm leaving the first day too.
Yeah. No.
You better fucking believe it.
I mean, she probably just wanted to
Teresa
get
left
back
day
to her.
2.
Oh, really?
And that was after I thought I praised her because she was going to clean the toilets, but I also don't blame her for leaving.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it's physically, I don't care how much you've worked out. It's so hard. And as a woman, if you're not physically fit and you're doing, a very physical job of what they want you to do, like haul up shit up a stairs. Oh, God.
But also, this is their career. And like, when people see you being, to some extent, a bad sport in that way, they're not going to want to let you, come sing in a mask. But I, like, ultimately, okay, the last question I want to ask you is, how do you feel about Ariana's transformation? Just because one of the amazing things about Vanderpump is that it takes the premise that these people want to be actors or singers, and it sort of pulls it apart by saying, what if we just make you famous on your own terms? And a lot of people give that up. And there were so many people who had singing careers in season 3 that did not have them later on. But Ariana, like, once Scandival happened and she had so much sympathy, Love Island came through, Chicago came through, so many of these real opportunities that she had been training for. Let us never forget, Ariana takes sketch comedy very seriously.
Which I love.
But I did have, like, I wondered about her, like, leaving behind the transparency. Like, she was never the most transparent.
No, she wasn't. And I think there's no formula to making it work.
Yes.
Because she didn't share a lot. She wasn't a compelling character to watch on Vanderpump. Always pretty. Didn't have like great one-liner moments like a Stassi or anything.
Yes.
And then
had the true confidence of a very pretty girl.
Right. And then when this shit went down, it was so amazing to see her act in the moment of like screaming at her ex, like, I don't give a fuck about Raquel. Like, she really just gained this fan base and then got these opportunities and executed them. And yeah, it was the most amazing, horrible thing that turned into something great. And I mean, I remember right when it happened, she like shut down her Instagram. And I was like to Lala, oh my God, she shouldn't do that. Like, you know, it's like there's no rules to it. So I would say what I do think is hard is like, you know, Sheena said, I just had such a good time doing an episode of Lopez versus Lopez. Like, I kind of want to explore what other things I can do since I want to be an actress. However, we know that when you're, you know, Greg Brady for 5 years on the Brady Bunch, it was really hard for you to get other work without people always seeing you as Greg Brady or whatever. So yes, now that you were a like known name in the reality world, I do think it's going to be hard to get other jobs as an actor or even a host. I do.
I mean, like,
but I hope it works out.
I think she's very well positioned to continue doing what she's doing with Love Island. But to me,
not for her. I'm saying for other people that like I said, Heather Dubrow is taking Groundlings classes and she's like, I want to get into acting again.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she got parts thrown to her throughout the years of doing the OC. But I'm just saying, it would be weird to see her. Like, I just feel like when a housewife's placed into something, it's kind of few and far between just because we know them as this other person. I think it's a gamble.
Heather Dubrow is the exception. Heather Dubrow is a fucking pro.
Okay, and I agree.
I have no doubts about that. But also, I just want to say, the thing that Ariana gave that was like, to me, the most interesting and transparent was that moment of, then why won't you have this conversation with me when the cameras aren't on? And that real understanding.
With Tom Sandoval.
Of just sort of understanding, I have a relationship that may be fiction and like that was fiction and I didn't realize it, you know?
I mean, it's all the Truman Show. I mean, it's like so the Truman Show. And then when you see that these kids are a part of it, it's just... It's that movie is exactly what we're living now. Yeah. And it was only like 20 years ago.
Laura Linney's so fucking good in that movie.
Who?
Laura Linney plays...
Oh, yes, the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie that if you
I think
watch...
she's like is she the wife? I think she's like his wife.
Yeah.
Yes, on it.
And I feel like too many people are like making their kid a Truman.
Yeah.
And they have never sat down to watch that movie and they probably should.
So I am obsessed with this Orthodox Jewish TikToker and her like 5 daughters. Yes. And like some people are very critical of having the daughters on the TikTok channel.
Yeah.
I think kids are hilarious and fun, but it is putting your kids out there. How do you feel about people using their kids on their socials and stuff?
I think it's very, very hard. And I don't know. I mean, I remember when I first started my Instagram and all that when we were in Chelsea lately, and I like purposely never showed the kids.
Yeah.
And I would talk about them on stage and stuff, but like I wouldn't like show their faces or anything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I guess that would have been okay. Like when I saw like other people doing it and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I should have like exploited them more.
Right.
Then, you know, but so I get that now it's like everybody does it, but no, I've talked about it at length of like how dangerous it can be. And now, especially when when it's your income.
Yes.
When it's your income and then you're like, I had this one journalist on and there was a girl that had to do a brand deal about when she got her period. And, you know, and her mom did a whole video on making her a period like gift basket. And then she had to talk about the pad that she likes at like 13. And when these kids say, I don't want to do it, then the parent will say, okay, I guess we have to sell the house. Well, and it's like, I'm 13.
There's none of the protections that are there for a kid who's on a set, you know?
I mean, it's just like when your kid is doing gymnastics or a sport. And then at like 12, they're like, I don't want to do soccer anymore. And you're like, what? But you did soccer all this time. And they're like, yeah, I'm not into it anymore. The same thing happens with a child dancing around at 4 that's acting completely into it. And then at 11, they might be like, no, mom, like I don't want the camera in my face. And then their opinions and privacy are no longer respected because there's a paycheck that supports the whole family. So that's why I think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And same thing with the reality show. Like I have said in Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Mary's son has a drug addiction problem.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, they have this heartwarming conversation, but the kid admits, yeah, I used today. And why? He's like, she's like, why? He's like, I just had a lot of anxiety today. And I was like, you had a lot of anxiety because your mom told you the camera people are coming at 4:00.
Yeah.
Don't put your kid on camera. Like, it's stressful. And then have people write about you and talk about you. And like, I don't think this is good for your rehab. I liked watching Intervention too, but a lot of those people didn't make it either. Like,
Right.
I don't know that we should be watching these people when they're in a state where they really can't give consent,
It is
adult or not.
my friends who have kids who are like 12 to 15 are in a state of constant war. And the notion of having to do that while servicing brands or Bravo just seems terrifying, you know?
It's a lot. Let's get into a couple more topics and then we get back to the Housewives. Okay, this was juicy. Ben Affleck is a executive producer on Jennifer Lopez's new movie, Kiss of a Spider Woman. And so they saw each other on the red carpet. And it looked like he was telling her stuff, probably how great she was in the movie.
Yes.
And she was smiling. And it seemed to appear to be fine. And then she, was on there with her twins, who are 17, the boy-girl twins. And she said, we're looking at colleges. And everyone says they look just like Mark Anthony. But the girl, if you zoom in, she has exactly J-Lo's eyes.
Yeah.
She has exactly J-Lo's eyes. Anyway, so and then she did remove that weird black thing for the dinner, but it's kind of good because it's sort of spidery.
Right. It's very, figure 8 Black Widow-y kind of thing. Like, we have lost a lot of true glamour. And I think their messy on again, off again is the closest thing we have to Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton that's going on today. I also think she's capable of good performances. Like, she gave us one truly great performance in Out of Sight, and we've been waiting to see that again. And like, if she can kill it in Kiss of the Spider Woman,
supposedly this is gonna be her thing. Like this is getting a lot of buzz.
And also it's a musical, which means she will be nominated for a Golden Globe, which like sets her up nicely to maybe get an Oscar nomination. So having some buzz going on is a good thing. I mean, Ben Affleck is ridiculous, but also he directed Argo, like that back tattoo does not take away the fact that he is an Academy Award winner and a very capable filmmaker. And like, I love them having this dance back and forth.
And let's not forget, didn't he screw the nanny?
Oh, did he?
Allegedly, I'm believing that he had or there was rumors or something that there was a nanny during his Jennifer Garner stint. So it's like anyone that I think gets with the help is the lowest of the low.
He is a Dunkin' Donuts swilling like goon, but also like...
But hot as shit, in my opinion, still hot.
Even with that back tattoo?
Well, my favorite time was him in The Town.
Oh, yes.
So that's his hottest taste movie. But
the thing is like, I feel like he swings back towards her and there is this element of chaos and glamour to the two of them together. I just love knowing that Jennifer Garner is safe, posting Instagram reels of recipes from her kitchen, like makes me happy. But like, I'm glad that this is going on. And even if they're just doing it for the cameras, good. And you never know where it could go.
Yeah. So they said that then he like left. And then she got to have her fun at the after party and having people come up to her. And she'll
never be a stateswoman. Like
a stateswoman? What do you mean? Just
sort of like a big deal above the fray. The way that some of these people who are like big star, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Lopez will never get into a safe relationship with a television producer and have her brands and dress in elegant white. She will dress in elegant white while she is doing somewhat goofy and sometimes amazing things. Like, I
think she did realize that she could be above it all. And I think that she is a workaholic.
Yeah.
And I think she said yes to too many things along the way.
Yes.
Too many brands. She became, like when all these people become like an influencer like the rest of us, I'm like, you shouldn't have to do that. Like you're J-Lo. And that's where I think this is, if she can stick to like doing cool stuff like this as she enters the next phase of life and kind of stays above it and knows like, I don't have to do all these things. Like she was going to do products with like A-Rod at one point.
Yeah,
what were you thinking, girl?
She likes being famous more than she likes any of the things that she is very good at doing. And that's rough.
Maybe so. Maybe that's what it is. I mean, I love her style and her look like more than anybody.
I mean, she's gorgeous and so talented.
All right, let's talk. I just want to get your opinion now that it's been a week since the, Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival that got a lot of talk. Many comedians went. Some defended themselves. Jessica Kirshon, who really popped. She's been a working comic for a long time. She came on my show once, but she really popped when she was doing a lot of stage work that went viral.
Yeah.
And she is a lesbian. She is a mother. And she went and she came back and did a lengthy apology to her fans. And she said she would be donating her entire amount that she made to a civil rights or like a human rights organization. So I wanted to just fill in that part.
Well, the first thing is like, I take weekly French lessons on Wednesday.
You do?
Yes.
Bonjour.
And I, a couple of weeks ago, like brought this up to my French instructor as like a thing that we could talk about. And just the question of like, would I go to a country that kills gay people and where it, I believe, illegal to be Jewish in exchange for $350,000, what Tim Dillon was getting. And he was just like, you would. He was just like...
The French guy was...
Yeah, he was just like, you would. And the thing is like, it's a lot of money. And, Chris Rock, who was making a lot more than $350,000, said they paid me enough to look the other... Was it Chris Rock who said that? Somebody said they paid me enough to look the other way. No, I'm
Bill
sorry.
Burr?
It was Dave Chappelle who said that.
Okay.
And because I think Chris Rock has more conviction than that. And also for some of these people, it's like...
Some people thought was just talking about Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Is that, remember when he turned down allegedly $50 million to continue his Comedy Central show because he felt, he wasn't getting what he was getting? I don't know, but people change.
Yes.
People change. That was like 25 years ago. Maybe he just does. Maybe he's not the same person he was 25 years ago.
He feels so aggrieved by people like telling him you don't need to constantly be saying mean things about trans people. That they like, it's so weird that so many of these people are the ones who are like, oh, there's no free speech in America because I can't call people the F slur anytime I want to. And it's like, you're going to a country where criticism of the government can get you beheaded. Like you're going to a country like, I just think, personally, I think I shouldn't probably vacation in any country where people are like going to jail or getting killed for being gay. And that's hard because that's still a lot of countries. And, I don't want to go somewhere. And I know that it won't happen to me, but I'm only protected by my American passports. And I need to like acknowledge the fact that this is a real problem and struggle in these places and not just breeze around on the fact that I am white and from America. And
so do you what's your prediction for this? Is it going to happen next year? Is it going to be, even a bigger festival, even more people doing it? What's your prediction?
I don't think it will benefit or help them out as much as like Qatar having, Qatar? Yeah, Qatar had the World Cup. Like they're doing all of these things to sort of like change the vibe on these countries. And one thing you need to remember about most of these Gulf countries is that the majority of the people who live there aren't citizens. The majority, like in the UAE, I think like 90% of the population are guest workers who don't have any rights. And then a small portion of the population who are citizens who still aren't voting, but have at least the rights of citizenship. And I think they're trying to they're using these things like the World Cup or this festival to sort of like make people not focus on the civil rights and human rights issues that are going on. I don't think it will benefit Saudi Arabia that much. I think I think music and soccer works better.
I mean, a lot of musicians have gone or done private parties for an enormous amount of money or
Yes.
whatever. But yeah, I saw the whole controversy with it. I didn't want to like be anybody that like pointing a finger at like other comedians and how they like make their decisions in their life.
And God knows I have pointed a finger at comedians in past.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that this is bad, but also, I mean, if someone said to you, $500,000 for a week, but you would be going to a country where bad things happen. Like,
I mean, honestly, I can honestly say I don't know that I'd say yes.
yeah.
I mean, because I don't want for anything really, honestly.
Yes.
I'm in a good place.
Well-
So I do feel like I just would have to, but what would have convinced me is my rep being like, and all these other people are going and you're going to be traveling with your friends. And like, almost like there is safety in numbers. You're not the only one that's stepping out of the box and doing something. And that's why I think so many of them did it.
But there's also, it was a bunch of dudes. It was a bunch of dudes, and it was like the thing that was noteworthy about Jessica Curson is that she was a woman and queer and Jewish. And the thing is like both of you and I have to understand that going to a country that like very notably is terrible to women and gay guys impacts our audience, and like is like you, like you could like alienate the people, the voices that you're trying to
I agree.
like elevate and speak to by doing something like that.
I think also what Jessica said was, I thought I was going to, I thought by going, I'm showing people that a woman can live and think like me and all these things. And also these people are living there and they deserve to be entertained and have live comedy. Like I'm saying, I think there was a lot of thought where everybody's doing it, go. And then once they were committed to doing it, then they had to like sit with their team and be like, okay, either I'm never going to respond to this and I'm just going to be funny and they'll be on to something else or some conspiracy theory or something to yell about on their keyboards a week from now. Or I am going to do like what Jessica did and actually go, okay, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make good because I appreciate my 1 million Instagram followers and I appreciate where I was like from 5 years ago to where she is today. She's like done amazing.
Well, the other thing is like most stand-up comedians could not find Saudi Arabia on a map, let alone tell you what the political system is there or what's going on. Pete Davidson is not thinking about human rights issues in Saudi Arabia. And I don't say that to excuse him. I just say I understand that timeline makes sense to me of it not being until someone explained it to them that they thought about it. But I also think there were a lot of people who have been quote unquote canceled who were going to it. And I think they are people with chips on their shoulder.
Canceled prior, you mean?
Canceled prior.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. and like Aziz Ansari was not like, he didn't do
Aziz Ansari was on the scale of being a bad, horrible douche.
Yes, he was a bad date.
Harvey Weinstein at the top, Louis in the middle. Like Aziz he had bad bedside manner. He got his BJ and like wasn't nice to the girl after or whatever. I mean, but that whole thing. But it affected his career at that time. Yeah, he was on a rise and it took a big dip.
Yes. And I mean, I don't say this to none of this excuses them at all. I would like to hope that I would have the strength not to do it.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to be a whore. It's very easy to like, the only time that I had anything like this was there was a Catholic college in Erie, Pennsylvania that asked me to come. And I was one of the first gay comics who got booked at Catholic colleges because Loyola and University of San Francisco booked me and then other places would. But this school asked me to not say anything supportive of gay marriage. And so the question was like, do I go there and I break the rules? Do I go there and play ball or do I not go there? And I chose to not go there. What would have been cool is if one of these guys who rants about free speech all the time had gone there and questioned the monarchy of
Yeah, but then
Saudi
if you
Arabia.
do that, you could be in danger.
Exactly.
So why do it? So don't go then. Either you're going to not go or you're going to go and play by the rules and come home safe and maybe
Yes.
never do it again. But you're not going to fuck around with something scary.
But I thought that they were big, bold, strong men who challenge ideas, you know?
Well, that's the hypocrisy of it all.
Yes.
And that's what I'm like, listen, the 95% of Hollywood will do hypocritical things in their career.
Yes.
That's that. And so you shouldn't put them at a higher standard in any way.
Right.
Especially a comedian. I kind of wonder the few comedians that did point fingers and really go after them. Mark Maron.
I loved that Atsuko put out there what the actual restrictions on speech were.
And I think she's strong and super successful, but I wonder if now, and I think that she did the right thing, but my thing is people may not want to fuck with her in a good or a bad way. They might just be so embarrassed that they're like, let's say one of those guys has a show coming up, a sitcom in the next year and a half. And they're like, oh, and then we should have a crazy assistant.
Yes.
And someone brings her name up and they're like, maybe not. And they won't say why, but it's just because they know that she was in the right and they're a little embarrassed about this. And so I'm saying that's why her bravery should even be more commended.
Yes.
Because when you do speak about other people, whether they're producers or other comedians, people will maybe not want to work with you.
Yeah.
And so.
But it is also neat how the industry has changed that Atsuko Okatsuka is doing fine. She makes her own business.
Yeah.
Much in the way that you do. And
still, but an opportunity. It only takes one person to say no. And I'm just saying there might be things that she'll never even be aware that she was up for.
Yeah.
Because that person is like, I'm too embarrassed to look this girl in the eye.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's the thing I think people don't think about. But so we'll see what happens. He is getting his tats removed. I'm so excited to share that this podcast, Juicy Scoop, is sponsored by The Real Real, the best place to shop and sell authenticated luxury bags, clothes, watches, and so much more. Speaking of watches, I have gotten 2 Hermès watches from The Real Real. I absolutely love them. And I love the quality and the excitement when I go and I shop The Real Real. Resale is for second chances, and the killer heels that killed your feet, the jewelry your ex bought you, whatever it is, consigning with The Real Real is the best way to let go of something that is no longer for you and getting paid for it. So if you need more closet space, don't stop shopping, start selling, and make room for pieces that actually feel like you. The Real Real is attainable luxury that upgrades your personal style. With up to 90% off retail, you can finally have the pieces that you've been dreaming of from brands like Gucci, Fendi, Prada. Unlike other resale sites, everything The Real Real sells is authenticated in person by luxury and fashion experts. The Real Real is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale with thousands of new arrivals daily. No one does resale like The Real Real. And this month, you can get an extra $100 site credit when you sell for the first time. Go to therealreal.com/juicy to get your extra $100. therealreal.com/juicy. That's therealreal.com/juicy. The beauty of AI is that it can do the heavy lifting for your business behind the scenes. For self-care businesses, I'm talking client bookings, personalized marketing, and industry-savvy back-end support. With Boulevard's AI-driven tools, you'll see more bookings, higher ticket values, and clients who keep coming back for more. Boulevard is the fastest growing client experience platform built especially for appointment-based self-care businesses because salons, spas, barbershops, med spas, and other self-care businesses are so personal. The platform powering your business should feel the same. From bookings and payments to appointment reminders and client profiles, Boulevard elevates every client interaction and works as beautifully as you do. Visit joinblvd.com to learn more about Boulevard and book a demo to see if it's right for your business. And for a limited time, Boulevard is offering new customers 20% off your first year subscription. That's Join Boulevard, joinblvd.com to learn more. Joinboulevard.com. Okay, now let's talk about Nicole Kidman. So she got new bangs. this is just a wig, people. Like, she wears wigs all the time.
Yeah.
But they said the bangs, I mean, she's gorgeous.
Yes.
She's going through a divorce with Keith Urban, and they compared it, Page Six compared it to the revenge dress of Princess Di that people always talk about. What do you think about this divorce and her bangs? Are bangs a good idea?
Like, I mean, she's Nicole Kidman. She can pull off anything.
It's perfect.
You know, I mean, she looks great there. There are sometimes women, I think, who are using bangs defensively to hide and shroud certain things.
Yeah.
I don't think she is doing that at all. I am just so excited for Nicole Kidman. Will this be her fourth marriage?
I want to say maybe there was a short marriage before Tom, and then there was this one. But listen,
I want her to have a palate cleanser marriage to just like responsible French gynecologist, or like maybe an agent. But I don't even think an agent. I would like her to have. Did you watch the documentary about Rita Moreno?
No.
It's so good.
Okay.
And she talks about being in love with Marlon Brando and getting pregnant by him and him making her terminate the pregnancy. It's so juicy. But she basically is like, and then I married a doctor and I stayed with him for 30 years until his death. Was I ever really in love with him? I don't know.
Oh my God.
I may be misphrasing it, but still, I would love Nicole Kidman to have that like nice, supportive, either a Salma Hayek-style billionaire who just will take care of her forever, like Padma had, or just like the nice doctor who will just be there and be supportive of her for the next 7 years.
I don't think she's going to ever get married again. I don't think she needs to.
Uh-huh.
And she'll have like a young, hot guy, and she'll have her fun, and she'll keep doing her movies.
Would you like to hear my hilarious joke on this topic?
Yes.
Do you think this will inspire her to reconnect with her children from Tom Cruise?
No.
Yes. I mean, it's the way that she behaves as though those children don't exist is hilarious.
Well, what I have read in the past is that she tried very hard to have a relationship with them. And because they were adopted too.
Yeah.
And there was always some weirdness because I believe she did carry her daughters with him. So it was always kind of like, whose issue was it of why they went the adoption route?
Yeah.
And, I feel like in escaping Scientology, that was just all part of it. And I think it was very probably sad for her. But at the same time, I know people maybe don't want to hear this, but I think maybe because they weren't her biological children and then she moved on, just like a man. Okay. How many times in the history of the world has a man gotten divorced and moved on, and the first family is like, and then we never saw him again, and he had a whole new family, and he just moved on and like had other kids. So it's like, I think the fact that she didn't carry those children and it was just so like scary and icky. And then, but I do believe she had tried, and then because they were part of Scientologists, she was seen as a suppressive person.
Yeah.
And they did not see her. And I want to say there might have been an article recently in the last couple of years where maybe she did like meet with the daughter or something.
Yeah. What do you think she wants at this point in time? She's got her Oscar. Like,
I think she just is like, I don't think she wants him anymore, especially if he's moved on to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I think that she loves to work and like, she's just going to keep wearing wigs and being a rich character, and a character who's a rich lady.
Doing limited series where somebody gets murdered.
Yeah. And always rich and always wearing like a really nice cashmere sweater and being cold. And just loving it. Yeah, that's what we got for her. This is a story that I'm always obsessed with. So Selena Gomez got married. And she had a kidney donor many years ago named Francia Reza. And at the time, they were best friends. And I, years ago, saw that she was on the cover of magazine, Selena Gomez, saying, "This is my best friend."
Yeah.
And I went on Juicy Scoop and I was like, what about the best friend that gave you the kidney? I got all the Selena Gomez bots coming after me, and it did kind of keep me from talking about it again, but now I don't care. And anyway, Selena had her wedding. It was, it wasn't a 12-person wedding. It was a significant wedding. The kidney donor was not invited. And she said something recently like, I'm sure she's very happy. She's a billionaire. She got married. She's fine. I'm happy I could save her life.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, listen, I think it is a weird position to be in when you get a kidney from your best friend and then you're not in touch and you don't really want her at your wedding. And I think you didn't want her at your wedding for a number of reasons. One, you haven't been that good of a friend since you got the kidney.
Yeah.
Two, she one time made a statement that she didn't appreciate Selena Gomez smoking with her kidney.
Uh-huh.
And then third is she doesn't want to probably remind people at the wedding that at one time she was sick enough that she needed a kidney.
That aspect of Selena Gomez's story is really incredible and amazing, that you had somebody having this ridiculously amazing career from such an early age while going through this very severe medical situation. The little girl from Modern Family also, like, it's like, how do you manage all of that? It's pretty crazy. And like, I understand life moving along, it is hard, but I have to imagine, like, look, if you're a kidney donor girl, if you're ever in a real scrape, you are allowed to call Selena Gomez and ask her for a big favor, because Selena Gomez cannot have there be news articles about how she is ungrateful to the girl who saved her life.
Do you think there was a big payment, or there's payment like on occasion?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was. I wouldn't be surprised if there was. And like, I don't know. You should always be grateful for something like that, but I also understand life moving along.
I guess when you do these things, you go through like a psychological testing.
Yeah.
Where they very much are like, you don't have a hold on this person
right
for the rest of your life or whatever.
Yes.
That's why it's, always so beautiful when like, someone's child unfortunately dies and they donate their body parts.
Yes.
And then the mom gets to like hug this other woman's son.
Yes.
Who has the heart.
Yes.
That's different because your child is passed.
Right.
This is a very weird. I always remember George Lopez, his wife of many years gave him the kidney and then he divorced her.
I mean, that's way worse than not inviting her to your wedding,
I don't know. I mean, short of my children, I think it would be a very hard thing for me I would have to really look at this and say, there's a good chance I'm going to open my Instagram and see you and my 5 best friends and my kidney on a yacht and I wasn't invited. I would have to tell myself that. And then what if somebody else needs my kidney? Too bad. I already gave it to the girl on the yacht that didn't invite me to her party. You have to think about these things.
It's real, yes.
Friendships don't last forever. But if I was Selena, I know it's your biggest day. I think I would have extended the invitation and let her decline.
Well, and also...
And then she could have said, I was invited, I was out of town. Sometimes you just want... I always think about things of like... I have a saying... like, what would Jesus do? I have one, what would Kris Jenner do? And I believe Kris Jenner wants to walk around this earth where if someone says something like, oh, have you talked to Kris Jenner lately? You could say, no, but last time I texted her, she sent back 3 dancing lady emojis and a heart. And you cannot say a bad thing. So it's like, if I was her, I would have done it. And just, if she came, she came. And if she didn't.
There are a lot of tables at a wedding, like put her with cousins.
Yeah. And she's not like that recognizable. I know she was an actress too, but it's not like she's that recognizable a face like a Taylor Swift who like gave a speech and stuff. So I don't know, but maybe there was more history, or it's just, I don't have to invite her. I give her, $1 million a year.
Yeah.
And that's our agreement. And she doesn't talk shit about me. And she also doesn't come to my wedding. And we'll never know.
I mean, I hope that's the case.
Then I think that should be like, good. I don't want to go to your fucking wedding. Just don't have your payment late. Well, this is very sad. So Denise Richards, as you know, is divorcing her second husband, Aaron. And he is a nightmare. And a lot has come out. They were actually in court because she got a temporary restraining order in July. And she is in court testifying to get a permanent one, which would be for 5 years from him. And she is claiming severe physical abuse. And his cousin testified on her behalf saying that she did witness such things.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hitting her in the head, all these things. She was getting redoing her breasts or whatever. And while she was recovering in the hospital room, he got physical with her. Then there's, black eyes. There's many occasions, like choking, many occasions that she's testifying to. He is saying it's all not true and that he's going to bring Brandi Glanville on and Charlie Sheen to prove his point that she makes up stories and lies, because when he said while he was walking to court, he goes, I walked into our laundry room and saw Brandi Glanville and Denise Richards fooling around. And on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Brandi said, we had a rendezvous in Canada while she was filming a movie. And I thought they had an open marriage. And she told me if Aaron ever found out, he'd kill me. Well, that to me makes me believe Denise. And also, if he saw them hooking up 5 years ago and he was so angry and against it, why did he stay married for another 5 years? Why didn't he end the marriage then?
Yeah.
Because he depended on her financially and he was denied spousal support. He was asking for $150,000 right now. He said, I need $150,000 from our joint accounts that she has cut him out of, or whatever. Maybe they weren't joint accounts.
And that money that she has is just mostly from her divorce from Charlie, right?
She's very successful OnlyFans, and she does a lot of TV and brand deals.
Okay.
And so, so he did not get the support. As of yet, I don't know if the judge has granted the permanent restraining order. I would think that she would get it. She's trying to get him and his family, of his parents and his brother, finally moved out of her property, or the one that she was on the lease for. It is a nightmare. And then Charlie Sheen, who, when they got divorced, in her divorce papers, it was abuse.
Yeah.
And they even touch on it, I think, though she was supportive in his doc about it. So anyway, he was doing an interview with who's the guy from California, David Duchovny, had some live show and he was interviewing him, Charlie, and he goes, do you have any regrets? And he's like, tattoos. I wish I hadn't gotten all these tattoos. Not, who you were with or how you were as a parent or a son or a co-star or who you may have contracted HIV from or gave or whatever that allegedly is. There's just tattoos.
I mean, he's a kook. Like, expecting him to have any perspective on his own life is ridiculous. Denise is a big personality. It's why she's so good on the show. Like, she's almost too honest for a Real Housewife show. Like, her not suffering of bullshit is amazing. Like, somebody, being withholding about information about a same-sex relationship that they had while they were married to somebody else. We've all seen Hunting Wives, that's. But
I truly believe the only reason that she was like that was because of him. Because I think, she's a sex symbol, and she was married to Charlie Sheen. I don't think it would have. I really think she was terrified. I mean, there was a scene
and that's not
where she's like, remember, we're mic'd. And he goes, I'm going to squeeze your hand so fucking hard. There's literally, and I think then she told me, because I saw her, and she's so sweet and she's so grateful of all the support that she's gotten.
Yeah.
And she's like, my divorce from Charlie was so awful that I was like, well, I'll never get divorced again. And that's another reason why she stayed. Also, it's so embarrassing, and you're stuck in this thing. And I just feel so badly for her. And he's like, in my opinion, a grifter.
Yeah.
Like, he was, with Nicolette Sheridan before. At one point, he was with this famous soap actress from Young and Restless prior to Nicolette Sheridan, or in between. He was just going up and down, Malibu looking for rich women. He is the worst.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's terrible. And also, once you have opened up your life just by being Denise Richards and then being on a Real Housewives show, you understand that separating from somebody is going to involve all of this stuff coming out. And people, people in comments are cruel, and people feel so comfortable questioning fundamental things, like when you say, he hit me.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. So, Okay, I just want to remind everybody, November 14th, I will be at BravoCon weekend at the MGM Grand.
Awesome.
So you need to go get your tickets, heathermcdonald.net. That's also where you join Patreon. We're almost sold out.
Can I plug?
Yes. What do you got?
October 20th, I will be at Club Fugazi in San Francisco, at the Throckmorton on the 21st in Mill Valley, and then in Portland on the 23rd, and Seattle at the Hereafter on the 24th. All of that is on all of my linked on all of my socials and on GuyBranum.com. It's me doing my solo.
We're not done with my show yet.
It's not. It's me doing my solo show, but I'm plugging.
Plugging. We could plug in the middle.
Okay, sorry.
So no, it's all good. I happen to have come, but I'm glad. I'm just letting people know. Don't turn us off because we got more to talk about. Real Housewives of Miami star Alexia Napola's ex-husband Todd has filed a $10 million defamation lawsuit against Bravo. He did a long 10-minute video talking to the camera like 2 months ago, saying how furious he was of how he was portrayed and that he feels they portrayed him like he was going broke when he wasn't, just because he rented a luxury apartment and didn't own it. And there were narratives that were untrue that the other cast members were saying, and therefore his reputation has been suffered to the tune of $11 million, because it's like 10 million is for one thing and 1 million is for another. And what do you think of a lawsuit like this?
It's really interesting because saying someone is bad at their job is one of the legally one of the 4 things that is severe, like saying that they have a venereal disease or saying that they have committed a crime is one of the things that's, I think, called slander per se. It makes it sort of like a more severe kind of defamation. But the question of what is opinion and what is a declaration of fact on a reality show is so weird, because if a reality show shows you a person saying a fact about someone else, are they republishing what that person is saying? Are they endorsing it? Or are they just showing it to you as their opinion? Because you can't sue someone for defamation about an opinion, but you can sue them about an assertion of fact. And it used to be when only newspapers and stuff were carrying stuff like this, they would be really cautious about repeating something that was someone's assertion of a fact about something like this. But
as someone who watched every episode, I did not walk away thinking Todd is a bad businessman.
But and also,
so I'm like, so I don't know. I think you'll have a hard time proving that, that his business really suffered. But maybe he will say that. But I didn't think that. I just thought he didn't like being on camera, and that's why they got divorced. And she was still in love with him. I thought he seemed like a fine stepdad. I was just like, I don't know. I don't think what's interesting is no fan of Bravo is going to suddenly have sympathy for the ex-husband of a housewife because he's a man.
Yeah.
And also anything that could take Bravo away from us.
Right.
We are not going to be for that lawsuit.
But the thing is he's not going to win. I think he's hoping that they settle with him just to avoid the lawyer costs that it would take to actually, this will not go to trial.
I don't think they will, because the reality reckoning didn't go anywhere. There hasn't been any settlement. There's another woman suing for $20 million. There's several lawsuits against Bravo. And I would think if they start to settle with one, then they're settling with the other. So they have to stand high, and be like, no, you signed these releases. That's that.
Yeah. I mean, well, and the interesting status of the husbands is because you're you are signing releases, but you're not getting paid for it. Your wife is or whatever. It is interesting, but they still sign the releases.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, now they're divorced, and some people wonder, will this hurt her chances of coming back?
Yeah.
Do you think it will?
Do you think he's doing this? I don't think so. But do you think it will hurt her chances of coming back? Could he be doing this just as a revenge thing against her?
I mean, that would really suck. I wonder if she could then sue him for that. But that would really suck if they just want to get rid of her so that no one's reminded of this and that no one's slipping. Because what are you supposed to do? Then go on set and just and her whole life is this horrible thing that's happening with her ex-husband, and people are not supposed to mention it, but
Yeah,
you're supposed to
because
be a girlfriend in a real life scene. Like, of course you're going to be like, oh my God, Todd's a dick. Like, he's the worst.
and the lawyers would be telling them like, well, you can't talk about him while this thing is going on.
Yeah.
It is like, it's always interesting to me when you have ex-husbands who are like exerting control over what can be shown or how much can be shown. Like when you have,
Yeah, and she said that. She goes, you know, it was he was just awful all the time. Like before the last reunion, you know, she right as she was about to like walk on, he was like, you know, hadn't talked to her for 2 days, putting her in an awful state, being totally unsupportive of it. I mean, that's really awful too. Like, it's stressful enough that you have to go and fight and like do all this awful stuff. And then to just also have your husband like, you better not say this or that, or they better not say this about me. And you're just like, I mean, talk about the ultimate of walking on eggshells. Like, what a nightmare. Also, Netflix, there's a $15 million lawsuit from the movie Inventing Anna. The girl that was basically based on her story, who was the friend who got stuck with the $70,000 credit card bill when they went to Morocco.
Yeah.
She is suing, saying, you use my name, my likeness, and everything. And I don't like the way I was portrayed because you portrayed me as like greedy, and which isn't true. And so she's suing. Now, how does that work?
I mean, like, I don't think she has much of a case. Like, basically, you're there saying it's false light. So she's not actively saying that, like, there was any clear defamation. Like, false light just means you represented me as being not like I am, even though there was nothing directly false. And it's like, this is true events. Like, they're pretty open about the fact that it is inspired by true events and not a direct sort of attempt at like documentary reconstruction of what happens. It seems really hard. I mean, it must be hard to see people making money off of something that you're involved in that you didn't make money off of.
Yeah.
But also you were in newsworthy events, you know?
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, there's a movie out right now called Swiped, which is about the owner and creator of Bumble. And she didn't have anything to do with that movie.
Right.
And I mean, it's fine. I mean, I think I have to watch it, but I mean, I think she comes off really great. It's her story, but the story was out there. Just like someone could do three.
Mark Zuckerberg didn't make any money off of the social network.
People could do 3 stories, 3 versions of Long Island Lolita.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And 3 different people played her. I mean, that's just, there's going to be multiple movies about Karen Reed that she might not have a dollar from. Well, so, I mean, I think that's but you know what I want to ask you?
Yes.
I always wonder. So this movie came out, 2 years ago. Why does it take like 2 years to then do the lawsuit? Are you shopping around for lawyers? Does it take that long to get it together? Or is it like after a year and a half, you're like, you know what? That's still pissing me off. I am going to sue.
I think it's some degree of that, but it also is just the statute of limitations tolling. So within 2 to 3 years, the statute of limitations would toll, where if you did not,
But why not jump on it 2 years ago then, when it was like hot and in the news?
She probably didn't get pissed off for a while, I would have to imagine. And I also think like finding lawyers and like, I mean, were they trying to sort of like back channel for some money before this? I don't know. Like, it's
asking for money and then they didn't give the money and then they have to.
Yes. But I mean, it's not as though she's like that directly aggrieved by, it was like, oh, they made me seem not great, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
No, first we have to talk about my legal issue.
What? Oh, yes. Let's talk about your legal issue.
Because it is a juicy scoop angle. This all just comes down to I got on like normally I fly business class, but there haven't been as many TV jobs. And this summer I wanted to do like 3 things in a row. And I was like, I can do one of these things if I fly business class, or I can like fly Comfort Plus and do all of them. And I went to my friend Tori's wedding, and as I was flying back, it was a full flight and I had been placed in a middle seat. Usually I try to get a window seat because I'm a big guy and I'm trying to stay out of people's way. But I was in a middle seat and there was like an old guy who came down and like first he like hit a woman's hand because she was placing a bag in the overhead compartment near where he was going to sit. And he had decided that that was his territory and she wasn't allowed to do that. So they had like a full altercation beforehand. And then he sat down and he was like, could you scoot over? And I was like, I can't. You know, I was there. I was in between the two armrests. I had buckled my seatbelt without a belt extender. I was fine. And he was like, can you scoot over? And I was like, actually, I can't. And then he just like leaned over and elbowed me as hard as he could. And I told the flight attendants and he got mad and he was a million miler. And so he like, I believe was texting someone from Delta and then like a Delta's customer service agent showed up and they started, you know, evaluating the situation as, oh, this person has to sit next to a fat person. And in no way, like they pulled him aside and they talked to him, but they in no way were like, so someone hit you, what happened? And when all they did was, because I had taken a video of it, I posted it on Instagram, but all that the official Delta representative did was ask me if I would delete the video. And like at that moment, the people around me, like there were a gay couple behind me and like a woman across the aisle who just sort of like popped up and were like, no, that guy hit him. He hit another woman. He is the problem. And like they just moved him to the other side of the aisle and had him switch and like gave a woman miles because she had to sit next to me. She was very, very lovely because I was, you know, crying into my eye mask, just sort of like humiliated and uncomfortable with the whole situation. But like after, like later, one of the flight attendants came up and like showed me a message on their phone that was like, we asked to have this guy removed from the flight and we told her that he had hit you and he was the problem. And she overruled us. And as I was leaving, that member of the flight crew was like, you have to talk about this next time you're on Juicy Scoop. And the two things that like, in a moment,
we love, shout out to the flight attendant from Delta. That's a Juicy Scooper.
Like the two things were like, after I like pulled my eye mask off and realizing that of the people who had like hopped up to defend me, like of the 6, 4 of them were watching The Devil Wears Prada. And having a person say like, I am a Juicy Scooper, I was here for you. It was just a moment of realizing like women and queer people and people who didn't always have full access to our voices. So many cultural things have reminded us that we do have the right to push back and, you know, not be hit. And it is very frustrating to me that so much of the discourse around this is like, oh, that guy's too fat, he needs to buy 2 seats. The thing is a lot of people don't realize that if you buy 2 seats on a full flight, they'll still just give it away. Like there's not a good system for handling fat people on flights. And just having it be waiting until somebody decides to point at me and call me fat to try to deal with it is not good. But also, you shouldn't fucking hit people, you know? And
that's just beyond shocking.
Yeah.
Like, I just am like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, what people are losing their minds. Like, you're suck it up. Travel is hard for everybody.
Yes.
Like, and yeah, babies cry.
Yes.
And I mean, love to the moms that are like, I make, you know, treats for everybody to say, no, like just fucking deal with it.
Yes.
Bring your earplugs. Bring your eye mask, whatever it is. But like, that's life. Like, what is people? It's disgusting.
I mean, I think he had a couple of drinks and he was a million miler who I believe was pissed off that he had not gotten upgraded further than Comfort Plus. And like, sure. But like, he walked in there ready to be in a fight. And
wow.
Yeah. And it was just really upsetting that, you know, like, once I landed in LA and reported it to the gate agent, the Delta people were like, they were supposed to just get the police there. Why did they not get the police there? And, you know, it was really frustrating.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you shared your story. Anything you want to say about Real Housewives of Salt Lake? Because that was on last night and I made you watch.
So I've just been starting season 1 and like, I worried that Meredith was queen. Like, she seemed to not be in the episode that much. She like did her own thing with her caviar place and then was in a conversation at the end. And I was happy when I saw the conversation at the end because I was worried that she was trying to queen bee and be above the fray. And is that an issue and a problem or no? Does Meredith still do her job? Oh,
yeah. Meredith is great. She just hasn't been featured as much because it's all about Lisa Barlow and her businesses.
I mean, Lisa is an icon.
And
that show is such a forum for cowboy hats and turtlenecks. thrills me.
Really. And they all are great looking. But listen, Bravo Snarkside actually screen grabbed the text that went between Lisa Barlow and Angie. And Lisa Barlow went after Angie because Angie has many salons, 3 which she owns, and the other 7 she has franchised out. And Lisa Barlow was somehow like trying to pinpoint whatever. They're all pointing fingers at each other as being like not as rich and not having as many businesses. And so then she's like, I supported your son's hair, whatever gel. And it's in my salons, but no one's buying it.
It's a C-list product. It's dusty.
So then an assistant comes to go pick it up. And she goes, this is a C-list product. And then they start going back on the text messages where then Lisa texted her and said, 600 Venmo sent. I can send my cleaners to help you too, because she said they're collecting dust. And then Angie said, you should probably have sent the $600 to other people that are claiming that you owe them money. I didn't say you owed me any money and my salon is not dusty. And then Lisa said, well, at least I don't have to borrow money to take Wait, let me do it Lisa's voice. Well, at least I don't have to borrow money to take vacations and pay it back after using a card. I should have been of something, but it got cut off. But then I'm sure Angie went back and was like, isn't someone accusing you of owing money on an Amex card? It went back and forth. And it's like, it's pretty fun. It's snarky, but it's kind of like, yeah.
I mean, it's like mutually assured destruction. I'm like, wouldn't it benefit these ladies not to do these things? But I guess that's what the show is. I have a question, though. The woman who was married to the coach, the party planner, is she still on the show?
She's in jail.
Oh, no, I didn't realize.
Jen Shaw, interesting that you asked that. Jen Shaw, this is from Sutton Stroller. Catherine Dennis is from is from Southern Charm. She's been off the show for a long time. She struggled with drugs and alcohol. She just got a DUI, so she has 25 days in prison. Jen Shaw has 326 days left. But
what is she in jail for?
Oh, stealing money from old people and doing a whole scheme where they would trick elderly people into thinking that they could have a viable business.
Oh, wow.
And then telling them they needed more and more and more money and then keeping all that money for herself.
Amazing.
She's with the One Drop Girl. Elizabeth Holmes. They're in prison together, hanging out. But I just heard from a very good source that she could be getting out extremely soon.
Okay.
And I'm sure that she will be asked right back to be on The Housewives. Peter Thompson has 410 days left. He was the husband of Cynthia Bailey on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay.
And then Tom Girardi has 2,566 days left.
To the extent that there's still a Tom there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, this has been so fun. Again, let's remind everybody to follow Guy Branum. He is really becoming a TikTok and Instagram sensation. He has his great show with many dates, and they can go get that again.
Yes, GuyBranum.com or at Guy Branum on Instagram and at Guy Branum Comedy on TikTok.
All the info is there. And what a delight. And thank you for sharing your awful airline personal story with us and giving all your insights.
But thank you for creating an army of people who are out there to, be full of the light and love that you foster in this community.
I love it. And I love my Juicy Scoopers. And they really are the best part about what I do because they are like-minded, lovely, intelligent, caring people. And funny because I like funny people.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.